Well, friends, we are back through the magic of video, since that seems to be popular these days. So we thought we would connect with you and share a few thoughts on what's going on in the life of Georgetown.
And the first thing we want to share is that the Feeding America distribution last night may have been a record. We served 105 families, and we did so a week after the last distribution, which I think is speaking to some of the need that's out there. So put on your calendars the next distribution being May 12 and May 19. We're going to keep up the increased Feeding America distributions. We want to thank you for your contributions and also for your volunteer efforts. And for those of you who wish you could do one of those things but can't, and you're praying for that ministry, we appreciate it. Back to you.
So we as a staff meet together actually almost every weekday at 9 a.m. via Zoom, and we talk about all kinds of matters pertaining to church. Obviously, situations with church life are dynamic. There's all stuff going on, so we're constantly connecting with each other and trying to figure out the best way to do things here. So we all have adopted and adapted to different roles as a staff. I get in meetings personally with my youth group kids, but I'm offering Monday, Wednesday, and Friday devotionals and check-ins. And you're invited, everybody's invited to check in on those as well. They're short, under 3 minutes for the teens. The youths, we're going to keep it short. So, but you're invited to check out some of the devotional thoughts. They're right on our YouTube channel. Cindy has been sending lessons to kids and mailing things and checking in, obviously through technology. Juliana's, has had to step up things a little bit with Feeding America and different types of communications, getting letters and videos in from our ministry partners overseas. So Sarah is having to work in different ways. Amy's been here doing kind of different things. So all of us as a staff have kind of adapted to new realities.
And each staff member is committed to being a resource for you, for each other, for our lay leaders at church. So just know that everyone here is adapting in different ways, and I think you spoke well to that. I'd like to speak to the matter of room at the inn. You may have read about the ministry that the deacons are advancing in partnership with Love in the Name of Christ and also Holland Rescue Mission. Holland Rescue Mission needs to observe social distancing with the people who are short-term residents there. Because of that, they don't have enough room. They've worked and reached out to their partner organizations, hotels that have a low census right now, and hotels in Holland have heard the call and are offering a discounted rate of $59 a night to Holland Rescue Mission. So our deacons have encouraged us to think about providing a night or several nights for folks to address that short-term housing need. So we're going to continue room at the inn, again, $59 a night until next Friday, May 1st. So we want to encourage you, if you want to participate in that all or in part, send in a contribution, label it room at the inn, mail it to Georgetown. So far, we have had 24 nights purchased, which I think is phenomenal given these times. I also want to say that it's a delight to be able to see Sherry's face every time she comes back from the mailbox, because folks are responding to general ministry needs as well as special ones. I think about this as I see the mail carrier just drive up and deliver another pile of mail. So on behalf of Sherry, our staff member who opens the mail, thank you for all of the ways in which you are staying supportive and encouraging and participating in these ministries.
Yeah, and for the Room at the Inn initiative, we're going to have a website set up for that. So if you go to georgetowncrc.org/hotels, hotel, there'll be a update on that and all the instructions that Marc just mentioned about that as well.
So we don't want to burden the congregation with lots of asks. And we talk about that often, about there are members of Georgetown who say, just let us know about every possible ministry we could be involved in, and then we'll decide which ones that we want to support based on our own connectivity or our interests or passions. And we also have people at Georgetown who, when we put an ask out there, always want to respond to everything and then feel overwhelmed. So just know staff lives with that, how to weigh those things, and we try and do that carefully. In concert with the deacons, staff has worked out for the month of May the following initiatives. We want to do Room at the Inn for 2 weeks, and we invite you to participate in that or not. Following that, we are going to be doing a Feeding Guatemala initiative, which Eric can speak to in a moment. And we'll do that for 2 weeks. And then the following 2 weeks, we are going to put in front of you 2 weeks of Feeding America support, and that's funding support. Now, we all know right now we are not taking what we know as a second offering, which always puts an outside cause in front of us. So what we're trying to do is choose an outside cause, an initiative, a project that we can inform you about, we can participate in, but also dial it down and not putting something before you every week. Eric, starting May 1 or May 2, can you just give us a little teaser about Feeding Guatemala?
Yeah, I'll not go into all the details, but my friend Josh Campbell, who's a native Guatemalan, who's worked with us on several of the projects, has reached out to me and said, hey, we're still able to distribute some food, and it's more need than ever because of some of the distancing restrictions. They can't gather in groups of more than 10. And so there's some growing need there. I'll lay it out for you, but some of our key ministry partners and people I know as friends and partners have connected with me and wondering if we can help. And so I'm eager to respond to them and figure out how Georgetown can be a big asset in helping them feed people in Guatemala.
Just know too that in addition to those three that we named, Room at the Inn, Feeding Guatemala, and then Feeding America, we may have another opportunity that's a bit of a grocery drive that we're going to likely do in concert with Love in the Name of Christ. Some of the asks sometimes of a $59 donation or some of the other projects we have are pricey for some of you to participate in. And again, we don't want to burden or tax you, especially if you're particularly feeling that. But just know that we may have some lighter and easier ways of participating in Georgetown's life and ministry coming up for you as well. But we'll keep you posted on that. Please know too that within a week or so, we hope to have a welcome video to the Mike and Stephanie Shellhaas family. Their membership's been approved. They're joining Georgetown, and we're asking them to generate a personal introductory video that you will get to see as well. Do you have other items that you want to pass along?
I think we covered a lot of it for this week.
We covered a lot. One other thing that comes to my mind, and there were enough things that we needed a cheat sheet, was just know that this church and Classis Georgetown Classis is a constellation of 18 local churches of which we are a part, are beginning the conversations of, so what do we need to be doing after we begin gathering again? We recognize that gathering could be a month or maybe more likely months away. None of us knows. But we also recognize that once we start gathering, not everyone will be able to do so. We'll move from a stage of restrictions to precautions. And how do we protect the most vulnerable among us? And what's that going to look like? We've talked about the likelihood of, we're probably not going to be passing offering plates or friendship registers. We're probably not going to be shaking hands. what is ministry going to look like and what is our programming even going to look like into the fall. So just know that we're already anticipating some of those next steps that we need to be thinking about. And we're committed to remaining in conversation not only with you, but with classes leaders and listening to your ideas as well. And just know that we are grateful that you are a part of Georgetown, and we encourage you to call or email. I'm going to give you one more shot. Nolan, I'm going to ask you to make a cameo and just walk past. People need to be able to see you. And maybe, can you just speak for a moment about Nolan and Chris and their work? Thank you, Nolan.
These guys are carrying a lot of freight for being able to do the things that we're able to do here at Georgetown, as far as recording, editing, distributing video, all the capacities that we have here at Georgetown to connect with you they're almost all informed or supported by Chris and Nolan. So we can't thank them enough and mention them too much, because they are it's not just about hours, they are putting in a lot of hours, but about their energy and their focus to help make Georgetown as connective and as good of an experience as we possibly can. They have an eye for excellence, and those things are all really appreciated.
And all one needs to do is look around and see what some of our colleagues and our other sibling churches are doing, and I look at the quality of the production that we are putting together here, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of the work that's happening here. It has this kind of level of excellence, and it's, I think, so much better than live streaming or FaceTime Live. It's thoughtfully knitted together, and we celebrate these two people who are sharing their gifts in a way that blesses the whole body at Georgetown. So as always, we give you the last word in the season of Easter. He is risen.